Was weird. Alright, welcome back to One Piece Anime Re-Review, episode number 83. 4 episodes this time, discussing episodes 894 to 897. Still part of the Wano arc, basically. Yes, we're basically deep into the Wano season. Yes. Now, for these 4 episodes, only 2 are officially part of the arc. 894 and 897. 895 and 96 are not part of the arc at all. Let's discuss those 2 episodes first, because the ones that come later. Now, in the case of these 2 episodes, this is a 2-part anime original story arc. Well, technically a filler. This whole story arc, there's only one reason for this story arc, and that reason is to serve as a prelude to One Piece Stampede. That's it. That's the whole purpose of this thing. Yes. And we will not get another one of these until just last year. Yep. Now, in these episodes, we see Luffy. We see the Straw Hats being attacked by the Carbon Gang, a group of bounty hunters. Not the first one they encounter in the series. Yes, so they're here because basically, well, Luffy's big humongous bounty is $1.5 billion berry bounty. Yep, that was really the whole reason for this. We see a debut of a few characters in just the opening episode. We see Kare, the one who's the leader of the group, along with Ginger. And there's also a few other characters here. There's also Bonafista. Yeah, Bonafista, who actually is a character who actually did appear in the One Piece movie. One Piece Stamp movie. Yep, in the double piece voiced by Mark Wungart. Now, Cadre, the guy who is the leader of this group, so he's voiced by Jack Reeder. He apparently hates pirates, though basically he ends up working with some of them. There's also Ginger, one of the commanders. He is voiced by Regan Murdoch. And, well, there is also Gordona. She is voiced by Christy Meller. Now, they attack the Straw Hat ship, and of course they go to nearby island to hopefully find some cola, because he was a coup de burst, and apparently that one burst they did, apparently that cost them all their entire whatever stuff of their supply at that point in time. Now, why in the world they randomly decided to attack the ship, how did they know it was there, never explained. Oh, by the way, everybody in the whole everyone in the group is wearing completely different attires. They wear, like, Luffy, for example, is wearing a different shirt because in original episodes, of course, he wears a different shirt, but he's wearing bandages this time. As for why the bandages, never explained. Brooke's hair is dyed 4 different colors. That's never explained. Heck, Nami is basically wearing a bit less clothing than usual. Like, because normally you see her, before she arrived in Wano, she basically usually liked to wear her blue pants, along with her high heel sandals, and basically was like a swimsuit top. That was her attire for a lot of post-time skip. The first time she ever changed this attire was Zoe. Yep, with Zoe. Here, it's like, oh, let's have her wear a blue top, blue shorts. Rob wearing a similar attire. At least Sanji's wearing a t-shirt, which, yeah, that's the thing about Sanji. He only wears a t-shirt when it's in original content. If it's, let's say, I don't know, canon stuff, he always wears his suit a lot of the time. Frankie wears whatever the heck he wears. And here's the thing. Here's the strange thing about Usopp. The entire series, with the exception of in original content, the guy never wears a shirt a lot of the time. Why doesn't he wear a shirt? It's never explicitly revealed exactly why. He has very rarely put on a t-shirt. I think the first time I ever put on a shirt on, at any point in time, except with exception when it was cold out when they were Drum Kingdom, I think it was when they finished up the Innings Lobby arc. That was probably the first time he ever put on a shirt. Because a lot of the time, he does not wear a shirt. That's Usopp for you. So, yeah, so Luffy goes to the island, like, oh, give me money from Nami. And of course, he goes up exploring. He drinks some of cola that belongs to Frankie. And he meets a woman named Carmel, which, by the way, she's seen briefly this episode and briefly next episode, and that's it for her. She does mention that apparently he went to the soda factory and never returned. And apparently this is actually the Carbon Gang's headquarters. This soda factory. Why in the world they chose soda factory? Because they're powered by frickin' carbon. CO2. I'm like, okay. Then he attack and falls down a waterfall. This sounds very familiar. Runs the water and then ends up in the same bath as Boa Hancock. I'm like, wow, this is some deja vu. And of course, Luffy sees her naked. She has no problem with it because she's seen her naked before. And of course, and I appreciate the fact this episode about remember, hey, let's keep the fact that Boa Hancock does not like showing her back to people, with the exception of her sisters, the granny, and Luffy. So Luffy basically, she stands up, everyone's like, oh my god, look how hot she is, drooling over her little heart shape. There's no denying Boa Hancock is hot. And the fact she's my favorite female character in the whole series. Not because she's hot, because she's an awesome character. That's why I love Boa Hancock. I was so happy to see her return for this two-parter. When it came out a few years ago, I was so happy with that. And by far, this is the first time she's ever teamed with Luffy for a fight since the 3D 2Y special that came out several years ago. This is the first time since then. First time in the main series they've actually done it. And I thought this was great. They beat the bad guys up, and of course, she used her slave arrow, the slave kiss pistol, which I was so happy she used that. Turned people to stone, fought the female member of the group, which obviously was a good reason why. Of course, she puts on an attire, which is like a blackish attire, which shows off her sexy legs. And she does wear this outfit in the One Piece Stampede movie. Yes, she does. And of course, you probably think, because of her role in this particular arc, does she play in the role in the movie? Kind of. The way they teased it is that she's going to play a big role in the movie. And she didn't. She doesn't show up until the last 20 minutes of the movie. I'm like, really, Stampede? You brought up my favorite female character series, and you have her show for the last 20 minutes. How dumb is that? And of course, also, we have this festival going on. Of course, that's teasing the One Piece movie. And they fight the guy, he gets beaten. And then, of course, we have debut of the film movie villain. Yes, Douglas Bullet. Yes, he is voiced by David Miles. Yep, this guy. I'm like, that's an interesting name. Though I have heard some rumblings about him, where apparently the guy is, according to rumor, the guy likes to sexually harass people. That's just a rumor I heard. I do not know if it's true. I've never met the guy, so I do not know if it's true or not. And he's the one voicing Douglas Boyd. Excuse me. And he shows up here. And you know why he's here? To tease the movie. He's like, you want to see this guy, basically? You want to see this guy fight Luffy? Go see One Piece Stampede. Now, here's the thing. One Piece Stampede came out 4 years ago. This particular 10 episodes were released just recently, in the last couple weeks. Funimation released this batch and the next batch all at the same time, which is interesting. They did that. And, Luffy gets an invitation to the Pirate Festival. Hancock thinks that she's going with her, but nope, she shows her on there. And, of course, it's dates, and she arrives late. Yep. And that's very much that two-parter. In the case of what we got here for the main one, in the case of the first episode, 8, in the case 884, Luffy, of course, Tom mentioned about the backstory about this village. The fact is shown by X Drake. Yes, X Drake. One of the worst generation, aka the 11 supernovas. I've heard that name of the worst generation. Where he apparently destroyed it as a show of loyalty by destroying a whole village. And it's revealed by, of course, Tama's master, who makes his debut this episode. This is, of course, just after she, of course, fed him. The guy's name is not Douglas Bullock. Basically, his name is Takayama Hintsu. Yes, that's his name. And for some reason, there's no credit for his English dub actor yet. Yep, he of course shows up and is mad at the fact Luffy ate some rice. And it turns out this rice was supposed to be for Tama. This apparently was going to be her meal. Her first meal she's had in months. And apparently that day Luffy arrived was her 8th birthday. And apparently the only time she can eat is basically on her birthday. And I think they mentioned Christmas time. But don't worry, she can eat a little bit later. Don't worry about that. And she was on Kanochi. The fact that, well, she's waiting for Ace. Like, oh, you know Ace? Sure. He's my brother. And he's also dead. And she's like... And this is, of course, just after the fact that she decided to go and drink from the river. And the river is poisoned. This guy revealed a lot of stuff about water in just one episode. The fact that the water is poisoned. The fact a lot of big name samurai or even captured, working for Kaido, or just dead. I mean, so even in later episodes that any sword dojo that was existing in Wano prior to Kaido and the current shogun taking over, they were pretty much disbanded. Yes, they were discontinued. So no one can learn any self-defense skills at all. Because they dared defy the frickin' shogun, who by far is not the legit shogun. Momonosuke is the legit one, because this guy usurped the position. Yep, yeah, and apparently a lot of Wano was turned into wasteland by Kaido, and his dealings with the world government. Yep, because Kaido does not give a damn about Wano. All he wants is the resources. He does not give a damn about people at all. So I appreciate the fact that it is the same episode. And of course, Tama gets sick, or she's mad at Luffy for telling her about Ace being dead. And from what I can tell, the guy's not mad at the fact he told her that. It's just the way he said it was bothering her. Which, by the most recent episodes, basically, that she brought this up with Nami. And Nami points out, though, that just Luffy. He would do something like that. That's definitely something he would do. But basically, she kind of calmed. She even though that she. By the way, Tom has this thing for Luffy where, not love per se, it's more like a sibling relationship that she has with Luffy, calling him Big Brother, and because he saved her life, and he's like, he apparently doesn't have a really big issue with it at all. This little girl's calling him Big Brother because, well, Ace was his big brother, so why not have Tama be his little sister? For me personally, when I first saw this, both in the manga in terms of the anime, I had no problem with this. This was perfectly fine. And of course, she's being poisoned, so they basically run out, and we see Zoro. By the way, he's actually on the run from killing the minister. And then, of course, he runs into, believe it or not, he runs to a woman who actually becomes an integral supporting character, very important one. Toshijiro, that's her name. Or Oshiro. Yes. Not exactly what her deal is, because Kaido's been after her for reasons unknown at this point in time. And of course, after they save, of course, he drinks some sake. He's like, oh, I have some sake back where I live. Like, okay. By the way, this woman is 55 years old. She looks absolutely great for 55. We see Luffy reunite with Zoro. Zoro sees the fact there's Otama there being sick. And of course, he's eating. You're like, man, no one of my. And of course, mentioned that the eating the animals in that area is not good because of the fact that apparently they drink the poison water, so they're poisonous. And also, apparently, the only good food is grown by the Shogun and of course, Kaido on this one farm. Okay, interesting. That does kind of play a role here, which I do appreciate a lot of stuff I want to just set up. Now, here's the thing. Episode 897 is roughly, if you think about it, for the main portion of Wano, this is roughly only the 4th episode of this arc, and we established a lot about Wano just as one episode. Like a lot of the environment really in the Wano. And of course, we see Luffy reunite with Zoro, which is so nice. By the way, fun fact, this is the first time Luffy has seen Zoro since the end of the Zou Island arc. So he's not seeing it, probably from Luffy's perspective, probably in about a couple months. Maybe 3 months. It's not exactly explicitly revealed. Though in terms of basically time with the series, it's been about 3 or 4 years since Zoro was seen on the screen. I'm sure Sab basically was happy to voice Zoro again. I'm not sure how he felt about it, but I'm personally happy to get a chance to it. And that's that for you in the case of these 4 episodes. We got a lot going on in just 4 episodes, which is so great. Mm-hmm. Yep. Was any of your debuts? There's also Babaku, an animal owned by Tama's master. And that's it. He's a raccoon dog. Yeah. Not really much else here, per se. But yeah. I gotta admit, really good episodes. Okay, Karma herself is voiced by Jennifer Akebikin. I mean, she's looking presumably in her late 40s, early 50s, but she looks really good for her age. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, still enjoying this particular set of episodes. And of course, Wano is still the most recent story arc. Now, I will probably finish this up pretty soon, so, okay. So, I'm going to end it here. I'll probably go ahead and do my comic corner, and I gotta do a stream afterwards. And after that, I think I might have time to do this. I might just go ahead and do, I think it would be like Baruto finally. Okay, next video. Bye.